You tell me I'm dragging my heels. Do you make the most out of our time? Do you think you know how I feel? I don't know which way I should go. I don't know. I don't know. It's too gnarly a day for the classroom, Mom. They're breaking so nice down the coast. Let's jump in the car, have a buzz on. Cruising's what I dig the most. I don't know.
It's completely normal. Happens to everybody.
Okay, Mitch. Anything else you want to say, or should we just go back to your office? Do you want to say anything else to the press?
Go ahead, John.
I'll take a break. Let's go back to you.
Go ahead, John.
An XBB and an XBB variants. Most of the people who have gotten infected or have gotten vaccinated and boosted have a degree of immunity that they very well may get infected with the virus that's circulating.
In case you want to write this down, this isn't Delta or Omicron. We've now gone from EG5 XBB variant. I don't know what that means.
Son, I meant it. I can't go home. And when I'm at the White House, I can't do work. And stop asking me questions. It's hard to talk when you can't think. But they don't make it easy for me. I have to get on that plane. The stairs, I go up, and then I fall down.
There was a man wearing a suit, and he was hanging out of the window and waving his suit jacket frantically, like trying to call for help. He walked out onto the ledge, and behind him was a raging inferno. And
Whoa. Put on the brakes. Welcome, boys and girls, children of all ages, hoofties, pufties, one-eyed heifers, right and left wing wackos, woodchucks, and chuckettes, kings and queens of the Northeast Kingdom, is what they call it up here in northern Vermont, to another version of It's News to Us. Oh, and thanks, Philo. In the booth we have Philo T. Farnsworth, College of Musical Knowledge. And you can see him waving, giving the evil eye.
Texas Longhorns.
Yeah, you are watching It's News to Us, where Newport's oldest TV news watchers new Brown Q. We've been coming at you since 2009. And we're all inclusive here. We cater to men, women, bat wangers, coat hangers, all others in between. Okay. And let's see. All hail the cadaver in chief. He was in North Vietnam, making a complete ass of himself yesterday. He couldn't understand a word he was saying. He was trying to read off the teleprompter. I'm not going to answer five questions of five people. I want to go to bed. Yeah, I'm going to bed. All hail the senile agitation. That's it.
And you kids get off my lawn.
Oh, it's worse than that. It's insane. It's insane. And they didn't show any of it on the nightly news. Not a damn thing. And all hail the cadaver in chief, man. That's it. That's him. He's. It's only a matter of time now. He's going down. He's circling the bowl. And defund the police? I don't think so. We're going to defend the cops because all the people that got rid of the police are kind of like regretting it now.
Oh, you mean like Burlington?
Yeah, and all these sanctuary cities are having fun also too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're a sanctuary city. We're not going to let anybody with Trump's evil border patrol or ICE agents come into our city, mister. We're a sanctuary city. And these are my pronouns. Yep. Z and Jim. That's me. Just call me Z. Z. Like ZZ Top.
Didn't we
and
have
I got my...
someone on the board a long time ago named ZZ?
Yeah. No, don't mention her.
Okay, I won't.
And I got my mugshot T-shirt on too.
You want to do that again? I'll zoom up on you.
Because this is insane, man.
See?
Yeah, we are not a banana republic. I do not want the FBI saying who we can vote for. I don't want the media saying who we can vote for. In prosecuting people for free speech violations, basically. It's crazy, man.
The League of Women Voters will tell you who to vote for.
Yeah. Let them do it, like the old
they
days.
did in 2000, right?
Yeah. They don't even let them do the debates anymore, I don't think.
Good. Useless.
Yeah. Well, let's see. How about some news that you're not going to see in the news, Philo?
Righty then.
Oh, we got plenty of it. Let's see. Where do we start? They're going after second tiers of that Proud Boy guy that they just convicted for the rioting in the Capitol on January 6th, Philo.
Yep.
It turns out he was in Baltimore that day, but they got him, for being there in spirit, I guess. I don't know how it would survive appeal. He'll have to wait till we get a real president or somebody in there. The courts have gone completely crazy. It's that Tanya Chunknick or whatever the hell her name is. And it's crazy, man. And they added a terror enhancement. You know what they added? The terror enhancement was for, Philo?
No.
To these other people?
No.
Shaking a metal bicycle frame. Those guards that they put up, crowd guards? Someone picked one up and shook it. Didn't throw it, didn't move it, just shook it. And that added a terror enhancement to their sentence. Meanwhile, Black Lives Matter, burn, loot, BLM, burn, loot, and murder, they get paid. They get settled out of court in different cities. So up to $10,000 apiece for some of them for their little rioting during the scamdemic.
Yeah, it was. If you can't see through this BS, you're really not paying attention.
Well, they've flipped the script. I've never seen anything like this. I always thought that the worst year I'd ever seen in my life was 1968, right?
Yeah, it was a bad one.
Yeah. Well, and probably the worst administration we ever saw was the John Adams administration because of the Alien and Sedition Act. As a matter of fact, Representative Matt Lyons, our Vermont representative, we had one congressman from Vermont, like we do now. We got two senators, but we had one congressman, and his name was Matt Lyons, and he had the temerity to call John Adams a fat, balding, quarrelsome, toothless something or other.
That sounds like about a lot of people I know.
Yeah, when he was a congressman, when John Adams was president, so they threw him in jail under the Alien and Seditions Act in 1798, and they threw him in a jail cell in Virgins, Philo. And it didn't even have the brand new jail they just built. It didn't even have a window in it. They had a window, but no glass in the window pane, just bars, right?
Yep.
So his friends had to get together, pitch and put in some money to put a window in the friggin' hole, and get a wood stove so he wouldn't freeze to death. I mean, that's how bad it was. Thomas Jefferson called it the reign of witches, and John Adams, he was great during the writing of the Constitutional Convention and when he was VP and all this other stuff. But when he was president, oh man.
He and his cousin, was it, John Quincy, they only got one term.
Yeah, it was his kid. Yeah,
Was his kid? Yeah.
John Quincy. Yeah.
Each of them only lasted one term. That's how bad they were.
Well, his kid was more. He was a diplomat. He was actually an ambassador, and he was great. I think he did a stint on the Supreme Court too, but I could be wrong. But anyways, that pales in comparison to what they're doing to these people now, and going after Trump. This is insane. This is just frigging insane. I don't care who you are. I mean, they took the crooked guy, and the crooked guy, they won't even impeach him, and the honest guy, they had to make stuff up to impeach him twice. But luckily, they didn't convict him.
Clinton too.
Huh?
They did it to Bill Clinton too. They couldn't find anything to pin on him, so they got Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah.
All that millions of dollars they paid to Ken Starr, your tax money, my tax money.
For basically for lying in a deposition.
Yeah.
In a civil suit.
Yeah.
But, it was a different world back then. But, I mean, at least they didn't hound him. They didn't go after Clinton when he left office, you know what I mean?
Yep.
This is insane, dude. So anyways, yeah. And this guy, Matt Grace, he's the prosecutor down in Washington, D.C., he's promised to double the caseload of these protesters. And the only reporter that's keeping track of this stuff is Julie Kelly. And you can find her stuff at, I guess she's got a podcast, Declassified with Julie Kelly. And I think she's got a Substack. You can go on the interweb, you'll find her, Julie Kelly, traditional spelling. And yeah, in the meantime, today is September 11th. I didn't bring in the paper. I do have a paper that I'd saved from September 12th of 2001. That was the year that I moved up here. I bought my house up here in Vermont because there was nothing. I needed a place to settle. I wanted to settle my butt down. I wanted a place with, I wasn't looking for much. I wanted to be near a major ski area. That was my biggest thing because I was a ski Nazi. And I found this place on the interweb of all places. And I came up here and looked at this house, and I had to gut it. It was trashed. So they had used it as a rental, and the last tenants had smashed out the friggin' sliding glass windows. It was just a mess, man. I filled up 3 friggin' roll-off dumpsters from that place. But anyways, so when we were working on the house when the planes hit the towers, and all I could see, you got 3 TV stations up here back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and 2 were in French.
Back down at where I grew up was Springfield, Vermont. You got WCAX and you got WNNE, and there was one out of Colony, New York. We got Albany, and that was all we got was 3.
Yeah.
Down there.
We couldn't get CAX up here. Couldn't.
No.
And so anyways, so I had the TV on, and me and my hired hand were just getting going, and bang, I said, I'm all like, what in the hell? I said, Pete, I said, look at this, come here, because the guy who came to empty the porta potties, I rented a porta potty, and I had the water turned on so I could use the garden hose while we were gutting the house. And we'd go down to the local campground, take showers every night. And I said, Pete, come here, check it out. And we're watching. I said, because the porta potty guy said somebody flew a plane into a skyscraper in New York. So I turned on the TV, and Pete comes over, and we look. And while we're sitting there watching, bang, a plane flies into the other tower. I'm all like, holy moly, here we go. And you notice, what was it? It was before that they had the anthrax baloney, too, right?
Yep, they did.
Yeah. So something was afoot, man. You know?
You remember the old finance minister that was in Bush's cabinet? He was like a retired admiral or something. I can't think of his name. He warned them that 9/11 was going to happen, and Bush and Cheney said, "We want an excuse to invade Iraq." Don't bother us with this stuff.
Yeah, his name was Clark.
Yes, right, Stanley Clark. You are correct.
No, that's a bass player. His name was Richard Clark.
Oh, that's right. I remember Stan. He was a black guy. He was good.
Yeah, I saw him. Yeah, it was Richard Clark, man. It was crazy, man. So, anyways, now we've gone the other way. They've opened up the borders wide open. They grabbed 140-something people on the terror watch list for trying to cross the border last year. So if they caught 146 terrorists, how many more got through in 11 months, Philo?
Quite a few.
Yeah. You ain't seen nothing yet, man. And now the cities are choking with these people, and they're costing a fortune. They're man, and finally the Democrats are saying, "Look, we can't take care of this sanctuary. We got too many people."
Yeah, ship them up to Chicago or New York and watch them scream.
Yeah.
But the people in Texas are so mean, you know.
Yeah, I swear to God, we should send them all to Martha's Vineyard.
They tried.
Yeah, that lasted for 48 hours. Yes, so, let's see. There's still the report, the 9/11 report. There were between 17 to 20 pages were completely blank and redacted, fully redacted from that report, and it's never been released. And all the Saudi involvement was removed from the report too, Philo. And it turns out that Big Fannie Willis there, the one that's going after Trump in Atlanta, it turns out that she's taken money from Act Blue, which could be illegal. It's some kind of dark money pack for Democrats, along with Raphael Warlock, whatever his name is. And Mayor Pete is saying that cars are now racist, Philo.
Yes, because more black people get killed in them, right?
I don't know, or run over by him. God only knows.
He was saying that the roads themselves were racist.
What's the bridges, roads. So God only knows what stupid crap is going to come out of this genius's mouth. And Bill Gates says we need to cut down 73 million acres of trees. It's like, what? I heard that. I wrote it. I had to write it down. It's like, wait, what? We gotta cut 73 billion.
Yeah, Bill Gates says we got to reduce the population too.
Oh yeah, and they're gonna do their best to try, Mister.
Yep.
And let's see. Oh, in Beverly Hills, man, the stores and restaurants and stuff are all becoming vacant, Philo. And they have pirates that are going after people who live in houseboats.
Huh.
They have pirates. They steal a little motorboat and they go up and they smash the sliding glass doors, whether you're home or not, and go from one houseboat to another. And they just, because it's easy. I mean, you if they have a landline, you clip the landline, which carries a burglar alarm. It's crazy, man. No, sure. Oh, yeah, Biden wants the Remain in Texas program for the illegal aliens and other red states, too. Yeah. Oh, and thanks to inflation, which Joe says is going down, and all the rest of these people, it says we spent you spent $202 to buy the same stuff you did in July of 2023 as you did in 22, and $700 more than July of 2021. But that's okay. Joe's going to stop. He's stopping at Alaska on his way back from Vietnam because he's shutting down all the drilling in Alaska. The biggest oil reserves we have, the whole North Slope. Joe's going to shut it down. But it doesn't mean we're burning any less oil. We're still buying and refining it from Venezuela and Saudi Arabia, and all. We're still using it. It's just not going to use ours and keep the money here. These people are gone, Philo. And And no shipments of natural gas by rail anymore because of the accident in East Palestine. Well, East Palestine was polychlorinated biphenyls or something, PCBs, or what of the other stuff? They're chemicals, hazardous chemicals. It wasn't natural gas, but nevertheless, Joe says we're going to shut down shipping natural gas by rail. And no new pipelines either. Meanwhile, China's building new refineries, coal plants, and did you know that they're? Guess how much they're giving each supposed illegal alien family with a kid, Philo?
A couple $1,000, no?
$2,200 a month.
Wow.
Yep. And if you have more than one kid, it's like $600 or $800 more a month. No problem there, man. We get the money.
Get it, huh?
Pardon me?
Good work if you can get it.
Oh, sure. They get free food, school, medical, cell phones. Their cell phone bills are paid. And New York City, this woman I saw her on TV. She's saying, if I want to enroll my kid in school, I had to get the vaccine report, mumps, measles, rubella, physical, this and that. She had to get all those doctor certificates. But if her kid was an illegal alien, they could just waltz right into any school in New York and not need any paperwork at all, Philo.
Yeah, what does this tell you, huh?
Yeah, that's great,
isn't
it?
You?
And Mike Pence, man. Mike Pence, Mr.
Personality.
yeah, the man from GLAAD. You know, it's funny. We still don't know where exactly he was on January 6th, somewhere. Kamala came out and said she was at the Capitol, yet it turns out we find out she was at the DNC where the pipe bomb was that they found after she left.
Huh.
And Pence said he typed up some kind of document on his laptop, and he said no, it was a desktop, and he said he typed it after Trump's speech, yet his daughter had to rewrite it supposedly. He's been working with Pelosi versus Trump, and he never ran the document by the White House counsel's office, and he never said that he wouldn't use the Eastman plan either. Now, the Eastman plan, all the Eastman plan wanted to do was use the Electoral Count Act of 1887 just to put on the brakes for 2 weeks and let a few states investigate the anomalies that we were seeing, these irregularities in this vote by mail stuff, Philo.
Yep.
And that was it. That's what they're going after Trump for. Oh, he tried to take down the government. Well, no, it was fully legal. That's why they passed that thing in the omnibus bill in the middle of the night to get rid of the electoral the Electoral Count Act of 1887. It's crazy, man. Yeah, no vaccine records for illegal kids. Oh, and Merrick Judy Garland is refusing to allow FBI agents to testify before Congress, which is a violation of the law. And the National Records Act will not allow 10 years of Biden records out. And they used lawfare in Michigan. You talk about, using the law to keep people from running for office, Philo?
Yep.
In the last cycle, they used Michigan, the state, the Democrats used lawfare to knock 2 Republicans off the ballot. And, another Osprey went down, crashed and burned last week. And it's for those of you who don't know, an Osprey, it's like half plane and half helicopter. The wing tilts and it goes straight up, and then when it gets flying, the wing tilts and it's got 4 propellers on it. Well, they don't make a good helicopter, and they sure don't make a damn good plane either. And they've been crashing left and right. They killed more Marines, I think, than half of the wars did. It's crazy. This one crashed in Alaska, I think. It's nuts, man. It's nuts. it's another Osprey goes down. It's just terrible, and they say it's a problem.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, now we're back. Yeah, I can hear the audio again. We're back, supposedly.
Yeah, a little glitch. Keep going.
Okay, so anyway, so we lose another Osprey. Yeah, sure. And then we find out that they wasted $2 trillion last year. Where did it go? We don't know. Emergency food stamp program supposed to expire, and turns out the average worker now is paying more in inflation, paying more through inflation than they are in taxes, as a matter of fact. And the government's coming up short in receipts by $300 billion. And this is crazy, and they want to give money. No, they got to shut this government down. They have to. It's all there is to it. Oh, and according to we got 44 four-star generals, Philo. Now more than it's like a third more than we had in World War II when we were fighting wars on multiple fronts. It's crazy. And according to Colonel Douglas McGregor in the Ukraine, using satellite pictures, obituaries, graves, etc., it turns out there's 400,000 dead Ukrainians, Philo, that have been killed in the war. 10% is what we call Zelensky. He's been sending people into Poland to round up any teenage boys and bring them back to the Ukraine and make them fight. It's crazy. They got wounded amputees. The hospitals are full. There's little to no training. He's asking Poland to return teenagers, and a lot of these teenage conscripts that the Ukrainians are pulling out of Poland, it turns out they're surrendering to the Russians rather than get killed. So they want to sit out the war in some Soviet POW camp. It's crazy. I hope we don't lose this show in the can, man. I hope not. I just hope not. Yeah, here we are. It's unclear how many in Maui lost their lives. EPA teams will be searching for and remove by hand hazmats like paints, pesticides, and batteries. Oh yeah, large pieces of asbestos, yada yada. Yet, where was it? I think it's in this week's edition of the Epic Times. Oh no, it's next week. This woman says she got the only way she got away in Maui was like she ran the roadblocks that the police had set up. They had cones saying you can't go this way, and a lot of people just got out of their cars and moved the cones and took the side roads and managed to live, while a lot of the people supposedly who didn't get burned alive. Is what they're, according to the Epic Times, an article. Okay. Yeah, this Tanya Chutnik, or whatever her name is, Chutkan, that's it. She's overseeing the criminal case and dealing with Trump's efforts. You should read the stuff that this woman has said against Trump. She should recuse herself immediately. This woman has had a woody for Trump since 2015, man. And there's no way she can preside impartially. And she set the trial date for March 4th, which happens to be the date before March 5th, which is Super Tuesday during the election. It's just nuts. But that's okay. You know, why do we need impartial juries? Here it is. Shut it down. Use the leverage. Oh, yeah. Where's that thing from today's paper? It's crazy. These kids are dying, man, from sores and heart problems over taking this fentanyl that is laced with xylene or whatever it is.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. It's crazy. This girl has holes in her heart philo.
Well, you know, if you're going to take street drugs, you sort of get what you ask for.
Yeah, but they didn't ask for this stuff here.
Well, here's the thing, Steve. When I drank, and I drank quite heavily, I could go to the bottle of whatever it was I was drinking. I'd know exactly what was in that bottle.
Yeah.
You take street drugs, it's a roll of the dice. You don't know what you're getting.
Yeah, well, when alcohol was illegal, it was the same thing. You could get bathtub gin and go blind.
Oh, Christ, I know that, yeah.
Yeah, here it is. There she is right there, this girl. It's unbelievable. Wait till you see this. She has skin ulcers and stuff, Philo. It's crazy. Oh, updated vaccine coming too, as a matter of fact.
You know, I had to call in for a new prescription, right?
Yeah.
And you know what I get before I can actually ask them to fill this new prescription?
The recording?
They're selling vaccine number 5.
Oh, sure.
30 seconds of an ad. And it doesn't matter if it's Walgreens or Walmart or who it is. It's the same.
It must have been Walmart, because Walgreens, I called Walgreens this morning and they didn't have it.
They did last week when I called them, huh? Yeah,
Yeah,
all of them. They're all selling the new vaccine.
Love potion number 9, Philo.
They're up to number 5 already.
Yeah. Let's see. This put me in the hospital. It tunneled 5.5 inches down and 4.5 inches over. I almost lost my leg over it. Said Jeannie Merrill, 41 years old. She's an addict, and it's crazy. It says, let's see. Merrill credits Jess Kirby with saving her life. But it's hanging by a thread. In addition to the xylazine-induced wounds, she's battling a blood infection that is eating holes in the valves of her heart and in her spine. She was headed to UVM with Kirby after her interview for treatment. They're hoping a lot of antibiotics will help, but nothing's guaranteed. I might have to have open heart surgery. She also has stage 4 liver disease, a legacy of contracting Hep C. She said she's not interested in receiving a transplant. I don't want one. This fight is tiring. I'm tired. I've defeated. I've seen enough. It's like, oh my God, this is crazy. Oh, yeah. Xylazine causes small vessel vasoconstriction. It inhibits the blood supply to your skin. So people have come in with these horrible necrotic disfiguring wounds. You couldn't even imagine how bad they look. They're on their face, legs, arms. It's not just where they inject. Worse, they become super infected, turning into deep necrotic ulcer. I've never seen wounds like this before, said the ER doctor. In 20 years of work in the ER. It's nuts, man. It's crazy. Oh, and here's the thing. Oh yeah, I love it when the propaganda machine, the Democrat newspapers, try and stand up Biden and try and make him look good, Philo.
Yeah,
it's crazy, and it's gibberish. They'll write a whole article of gibberish, right?
Well, that's all he's talking right now.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, there's a great website called WeThePatriotsUSA.org for those of you who are interested. The expanded partnership with Vietnam reflected a broader effort across Asia to counter China's influence. As Biden has said, Vietnam wants to show its independence, and U.S. companies want an alternative to Chinese factories. Well, then why don't the U.S. companies build, U.S. factories, huh, Philo?
We can't have that. We'll actually have to pay American wages,
Yeah, that's what Trump was doing, because Trump did it. Trump did it by putting tariffs on Chinese products. He was the only person to do it. He just got up and said, look, we're going to, he told Xi Jinping, said, look, we're going to, if you don't drop your tariffs, we're going to put tariffs on your stuff. And Ping thought he was bluffing. Oh, you don't do that. You don't do that, Mr. Trump. Oh, we know you're just bluffing. You're just bluffing us. Yeah, he said, watch me. So he put tariffs on all of our stuff, all of our farm goods, and gave the money back to the farmers and stuff.
And you know what happened? Little old ladies said, oh, no, Walmart has to raise their prices.
Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah.
You know what? Their profit margins are the same. They said, when they bring the factories to China, the prices will drop. No, they didn't.
No, they didn't. Nope.
It didn't drop at all.
Nope.
That's like Biden. Oh, let's see. But Biden is pursuing these agreements. Let's see. He said he hoped progress could be made on climate, the economy, and other issues during his 24-hour visit to Hanoi. Oh, I'm sure the North Vietnamese give a sweet shit about climate change, Philo.
Yeah, right.
Almost as much as the Chinese.
We worry so much about the climate, but nobody's joining us. So
yeah.
Little old Vermont is going to save the world.
We can do it. We can do it gradually. You're not going to. They've already beggared us. They're putting us in the poorhouse. They're dropping our standard of living. How many people who voted Democrat? Do you like paying these more? Paying more for less? Do you like paying twice as much to heat your house, or go on vacation, or do anything? Do you like what you see when you go to the grocery store? And buy food. We knew this would happen. He said he even said he was going to open the borders, man. It was during the Democratic debate. He said, we're going to open them right up. We need to offer asylum to whoever wants it.
An insane asylum.
Yeah, really. Let's see. Biden arrived in Vietnam on Sunday. It was welcomed in a pomp-filled ceremony. He and Trong, what's Trong's real first name, other names? I don't know. Trong Long Dong. Oh, Nguyen Phu Trong, General Secretary of Communist Party of Vietnam, announced a new relationship status at party headquarters. Biden arrived on Sunday, and both expressed happiness over seeing each other again after last meeting 8 years ago in Washington. Yeah, where he probably gave Hunter Biden money and gave Joe Biden money. Kickbacks. Trump sought to flatter Biden, who faces persistent questions about being 80 and running for re-election next year. You have nary aged a day, and I would say you look even better than before, Trong say. I would say every feature of you, Mr. President, is complimenting your image. Biden chuckled. Ho, 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 ho. Biden was given 5 draft deferments and exempted from military service because he had asthma as a teenager. Meanwhile, people like my brother, he couldn't get no deferments, okay? His draft number came up. He got drafted. He got dragged off to basic training at Fort Dix. They sent him to Europe for a little while, drink some beer, gain a few pounds. Then they sent him to Vietnam, and he come back dead in a box. Yeah, but that's okay. Poor Joe Biden, he have an asthma. Like Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney was drunk. He got 5 deferments too. Early Sunday, John Feiner, another Irishman, Philo.
Yes, for sure.
Chief Deputy National Security Advisor, addressed reports that Vietnam was pursuing a deal to buy weapons from Russia, even as it sought deeper ties with the U.S. Okay, sorry, Mr. Biden. We gotta buy weapons from Russia because they're better, they're cheaper, and you don't give them to us. So we're gonna buy them from Pooty Poo and Chink Pig. Let's see. Feiner acknowledged Vietnam's lengthy military relationship with Russia and said the U.S. continues to work with Vietnam and other countries with similar ties to Russia to try and limit their interactions with the nation, and the U.S. accuses of committing war crimes and violating international law with its aggression in Ukraine. Hey, look, it's over. We got no business in the Ukraine. The Ukrainians are losing, okay? Yeah, their spring offensive. How'd that work out? Oh, that's right.
That's my silly clock that tells us it's 26 after the hour.
That's right. It's the spring offensive, Vilo. It's summer's almost over. So what happened to the spring offensive?
Well, I don't know. I think it's lost its spring myself.
Yeah, spring balk. Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo said the CEO she talks with ranked Vietnam highly as a place to diversify supply chains that before the pandemic had been overly dependent on China. Whether it's Vietnam or Malaysia, Indonesia, India, companies are really taking a hard look at those countries' places to do more business. It's true they need to improve their workforce, housing, infrastructure, transparency in government operations. But hey, we don't care. If they're democratically elected, if they're a communist country, we don't put our money where our mouth is. It's like in China, man. We'll let them kill the friggin' Uyghurs and imprison them in factory prisons. No problem, man. We're two-faced. Vietnam's economic growth slipped during the first 3 months of 23. Its exporters faced higher costs and weaker demand as high inflation worldwide, blah, blah, yada, yada, yada. And look at this. I'm not saying it's vaccines, okay? But here's a guy who suddenly had a heart attack and developed congestive heart failure last November, and he was 42 years old.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. I wonder if it was Moderna or Pfizer.
I don't know. I had the Moderna. We didn't have any trouble with it.
No. It's the younger people and the middle-aged people.
But I will say this though, my energy level dropped a lot after that last one.
Oh, here we are. G20 leaders wrap up Indian summit. Get this. Day 86, 10% ski. He hogged the show. He hogged the last summit pilot. He hogged the spotlight. So they wouldn't allow 10% ski Zelensky to come up from the Ukraine for the G20 summit.
Huh.
Yeah, get this. Of course, it's way in the article. Like I said, you have to read the article from back to front. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, 10% ski, addressed last year's G20 by video and stole the show with an in-person appearance at the gathering of leaders at the G7 in Hiroshima earlier this year. Modi made a point of not inviting Zelensky to participate in this year's event. Also at the summit, India launched a global biofuel alliance with 19 countries, including the U.S. and Brazil. The fuels, made from ag products and organic waste, have gained popularity in recent decades as a sustainable alternative to fossil fuels. Well, what do biofuels emit when they're burned, Philo?
Probably methane, right?
CO2, water vapor. So they're talking biofuels. So it's like, what the hell? You burning biofuels, you're still emitting the same amount of CO2. You idiots. Yep, they wouldn't let 10% in ski. It's crazy. It's just nuts. Oh, U.S. eager to restore chemical oversight. Sure they are. McTurtle vows to serve out his term. Thanks to Philo for putting McTurtle's seizure in here. You headed out?
Yeah.
Say hi to Barb.
Gravestone.
Yeah, Gravedigger.
I've taken over the controls.
Okay, oh my God. It's, oh God, what was the name of that show? The Outer Limits. There is nothing wrong with your television set. We control the horizontal. We control the vertical. Yeah, oh, here we are. This is classic. Rural Africa embraces solar power. Why? Because corruption. Okay? Once they kicked Whitey out of Africa, nothing works anymore. You know, you can see that in Lawrence of Arabia when the Arab tribes take over Damascus. It's like the British come in. The British let them go in first. So when the British finally arrived, they said, you know, how come the lights don't work? Well, they say, but Lawrence, the machines are so big and we don't know how to work them. And he says, well, what about the telephones? Well, the telephones too. We don't know. Yeah, this article, unreliable grid prompts spike in solar mini grids. Why is the grid unreliable, Toddster?
Because it wasn't designed for what we're using it for.
No, this is in Africa.
Africa. Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm late to the show.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It's because they're not maintaining it.
Ah.
They're not maintaining it, and they cut down on. South Africa has taken steps to reduce its dependence on coal-fired power, because you need that base load. Okay, you run a factory, you're running 3 shifts. You need that base load. You can't, just run the factory off battery power when the sun goes down. Let's see, the Kamati Power Station in Mpumalanga was decommissioned in 22 and will be converted to clean generation with more than 150 megawatts of solar, 70 megawatts of wind, and 150 megawatts of storage batteries. Will be. Do they say when? No. Oh no. It's like that old Taj Mahal song. Yeah, candy is dandy, but liquor is quicker. What is it? Champagne don't drive me crazy. Cocaine don't make me lazy. Ain't nobody's business but my own. Doctor say it'd kill me, but he didn't say when. Well, they don't say when this is going to happen. They just decommission the coal plant without having anything to take over the base load. So all these factories, Whitey is leaving South Africa in droves, man. We're talking droves. You can see you can look it up online. Or check out the Epic Times. I'm not sure if it's in this month's issue, but let's see. There was I think it's in this one. Mystery in Michigan over the 2020 voter forms. Oh, you bet there is. Seizure and private property stuff. Property was never returned. Anyways, this is the one you can find, and you can find it online too. They're not piggish. They epictimes.com, and thanks, Toddster. And the medical doctors are leaving. They can't keep the hospitals running. They can't keep the lights on in the hospitals. Factories. Amid the ongoing electricity crisis this year, the South African government offered tax incentives for households and businesses to purchase renewable energy and put solar panels on their rooftops. Oh, great. Yeah. So they shut you dumb bastards. You shut down the power plants without having anything to take its place. Fools. That makes sense.
Sure.
That's brilliant. Over 500 million people in sub-Saharan Africa don't have reliable access to electricity. Power outages are common. Renewable energy is more reliable, but its promise is still largely unmet. The nations below the Sahara, sub-Saharan, have 60% of the world's solar potential. Yeah, but only for 6 hours a day. You're going to need some big-ass wall batteries if you want to keep your fridge going at night. The nearly year-round sunshine in Africa makes us unique. In Nigeria, as well as Kenya, things are changing. Most households have gas generators, but recently the government removed this gas subsidy, prompting increased interest in solar power. Only about half of Nigerians are connected to the grid, and even for them, power cuts are common. Yeah. Oh, yeah, a white man left. Get out of here, white man. You leave us your tractor. Your tractor break down. We don't know how to fix it. We just have a commune, We'll go out there with axes and hoes, We'll just set us back, 6,000 years. Why not? We got rid of Whitey. The problem was affordability. Now customers can pay installments over a period of 18 months, said Tunde Oladipupo, an agent for Sun King, a solar power company. Okay, grid operations.
So you got about 4 minutes left, just
in case, yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah, Mitch McTurtle, he froze right up there.
Yeah, he's doing good.
Yeah, he's doing real good. Everybody is. We don't have a democracy. We don't have a republic. We have a geriocracy. Here we are. COVID variant, less alarming than predicted. And it's like my favorite quotes. One of my favorite quotes was Ted Nugent. When they asked Ted what he thought about the new vaccine, you know what he said, Toddster?
No.
Meh, meh, meh.
That sounds like him.
Pardon me?
That sounds like something he would say.
Yeah. He's got a classic show on it every week. It's on Rumble.
He had a show.
Say what?
I didn't know he had a show.
Yeah. They run it at 10 p.m. on Friday nights. But you can see it on Rumble. It's called Ted Nugent's Spirit Campfire. And it's funny as all hell, man. Yeah, we got Biden, Pelosi, Feinstein, Fetterman. It's just a whole bunch of meatballs. And then, like Leahy, they have 60 staffers. How long was Leahy bumbling around not knowing what he was doing? I mean, think about it. Remember Leahy? What was it? Almost 10 years ago, Todd. He told that guy from 7 Days, not 7 Days, he told the reporter from Digger that his wife wouldn't let him operate the wood stove. And that's when I said, man, oh man, if he can't operate the wood stove, that means he's toast. He's just toast, man. I got to get a haircut. Maybe I could go see Jimmy right now.
There you go. Yeah, you only got like a couple minutes left anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Then you're free.
I'm free. Yeah, we got to shut it down, man. We got to shut this whole thing down. This is a great article. I wish I had more time. But it's the only way. We got to use the leverage. We got to use the leverage and say, look, they have this thing called the Holman Rule, where the members of Congress can say, look, all right, Jack Smith, you guys who are persecuting Trump and chasing him around for basically a free speech violation, we're going to shut down your department. We're not giving you any funding. And they can do that. They can actually do that. They can go in there and excise the funding and just cut it right out and say, nope, we're not doing it. But they should. They're going to have to. And it's going to be a fight. Just remember, September 30th is going to be fight day because that's when it's going to happen. Okay, once again, you wasted a perfectly good hour of your life watching this stupid show, so hopefully we'll see you again next week, inshallah, good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. So until then, get down on your hands and knees in the men-only mosque, sniff the bum of the guy in the man dress in front of you, head east and worship the meteorite in Mecca, and go, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, open bar.
Open bar?
Allahu open bar, yeah.
It's completely normal. Happens to everybody.
Okay, Mitch? Anything else you want to say, or should we just go back to your place? Do you want to say anything else to the press?
Go ahead, John.
I'll take a break. Let's go back to you.
Go ahead, John.
An XBB and an XBB variants. Most of the people who have gotten
XBV.
infected or have gotten vaccinated and boosted have a degree of immunity that they very well may get infected with the virus that's circulating.
In case you want to write this down, this isn't Delta or Omicron. We've now gone from EG5 XBB variant. I don't know what that means.
Son, I meant it. I can't go home. And when I'm at the White House, I can't do work. And stop asking me questions. It's hard to talk when you can't think. But they don't make it easy for me. I have to get on that plane, and on the stairs I go up, and then I fall down.
There was a man wearing a suit, and he was hanging out of the window and waving his suit jacket frantically, like trying to call for help. He walked out onto the ledge, and behind him was a raging inferno.
Now I've got a terminal daydream, something that you'll